Hello everyone. In today's session we are going to discuss about effect of an autonomous changes in an aggregate demand and on income and output and the multiplier mechanism. So in the effect of autonomous changes means what is autonomous changes? Autonomous changes means there will be only one factor of whatever we have going to take for the in an investment. To that investment it is not dependent upon the any other factors, like it is autonomous, it is a single factor, but sometimes even that autonomous changes will be going to change. So that is the autonomous changes. In that first one, changes in the consumption. Changes in the consumption can be happen due to changes in C bar. Changes in C bar. What is C bar? C bar is the changes in the autonomous consumption. And second one is changes in C. Changes in C bar and C. C means just a consumption, normal consumption. So it happens when the changes in consumption, that is first one is changes in C bar, that is autonomous consumption, and changes in C, that is a consumption. So consumption function. So based on these two factors, the first time the autonomous consumption, the change in consumption will be going to affect for the autonomous consumption. Next, change in investment. So what we have assumed? We have assumed that investment is autonomous. Investment is autonomous means investment is not dependent on the any other factor. However, it just means that it does not depend upon the any kinds of income. Just it is based on the our own intention we are going to invest, but it is not mainly concerned about our income. So the number of variables other than the income that can be affected. So investment is not dependent upon what is the income we have, but it depends upon our wish. So what happens? So the other factors that is going to affect the investment. So there may be an increase in the investment or decrease in the investment due to the some personal commitments or some personal effects. So that is how the changes in investment. So what are the other factors that are going to affect the autonomous consumption? So that is nothing but first one is availability of credit. Availability of credit means easy availability of credit to encourage investment. So what happens? So we can take the examples of self-help group. What it says, it provides a credit for the society in a very less interest rate. So what happens? Initially some ladies are going to join that self-help group so that from there they can save their income. So that is going to help the investment pattern of the ladies. Next, second thing is interest rate. Interest rate means interest rate is the cost of invisible funds, and at a higher interest rates, firms tend to lower investment. So what happens when the interest rate is going to change? So if there is a high interest rate, the investment will be keep on going to increase. If the interest rate is decreased, the investment also be decrease. So based on the interest rate, what is the actual interest rate is there, based upon that the interest will be, the autonomous investment will be going to change. So this we can see in the graphical representation. So here OX axis represents the income and OY axis represents the aggregate demand. So there is a increase in the income due to the raise in the investment. So that is when there is a raise in investment, there will be increase in the income. So which is component to the autonomous expenditure. So what happens? The actual effect we can understand through this graphical representation. When the autonomous investment increases to AD1, that is AD1 to AD2, that is upwards, parallel upwards, the position will be going, the value of aggregate demand of output. So when the AD1 to AD2 it is going to increase, the aggregate demands position will be going to be Y1 to Y2, that is from F to Y1, that is from Y1, that is aggregate demand will be Y1 to F, which is greater than the value of OY1. So OY1 is equal to Y1 to E. So Y1 to F, the demand may increase, that we are going to assume that the demand may increase to Y1 to F, but it is greater than OY1 to YE1. So this is greater than OY1 is equal to Y1E by an amount of, what amount the increase is? E1 to F. E1 to F, the amount will be going to increase. So what is the actual Y1 to E1? The actual demand is there, but due to the autonomous changes, the demand may increase to Y1 to F. So what is E1F? Amount of excess demand that emerges in the economy as a result of increase in the autonomous expenditure. So this gap is known as the excess demand that emerges due to the result of the increase in the autonomous expenditure. Next, to find out the new equilibrium. So now this is what we are finding. We were in the autonomous changes. So now we are going to find a new equilibrium point. So that's why we are going to add a 45-degree line called a supply line that occurs a point at E2. In the E2 point, it will be going to merge. So which is a new equilibrium point. So that is a new equilibrium point. The new equilibrium point's value of output aggregate demand are Y2 and AD2. So what happens? What is the aggregate demand point? So it is going to create a Y2 point and AD. So what earlier I said, AD1 is our actual point of investment income. From there we raised to AD2, so that AD2 created a Y2. So that is how the new aggregate demand, that is new equilibrium point, that we raised. In the equilibrium, output and aggregate demand have increased by an amount of, so what happened when this line we are going to draw, it will be going to raise an amount of E1 to E2. So E1 was here, now it is going to shift E1G. So this was the actual equilibrium point. So this equilibrium point is going to now raise further E2 to G, E2 to G. So this is going to create a C. Now this was the earlier box. Now it is going to create a new line, that is E2 to G. This box that we have created, E2 to G, which is greater than the initial increment. So what is the actual increment? Actual increment was E1 to G, but now the increment was E2 to G. So that is the greater changes of the initial increment of the autonomous expenditure. So that's why it happens that delta I is equal to E1F, it is equal to E2J. So what is delta I is equal to E1F, it is equal to E2J. So thus an initial increment in the autonomous expenditure seems to have a multiplier on the equilibrium values of aggregate demand and output. So what happens when there is a small change, that is going to create a new equilibrium point, and the values are aggregate demand and output. So based on the aggregate demand and the output, the new equilibrium point will be going to intersect. So this is about the equilibrium point. So how the equilibrium point occurs? It is based on the E1, E2, J and G. So the initial investment line will be going straight forwards, because it is autonomous investment which is keep on going in the same level and the same value. So what is E1 is equal to F? The amount of excess demand that emerges in the economy. So E1 to F1, it is a it is the amount of excess demand incurred. In the same way, E2J is also the same level of amount of demand that arised after the new equilibrium point, that is the new equilibrium point is A0 O to AD2 is the new equilibrium point. So there the 45-degree point occurred and it got intersected in the E2 point. So that is the new equilibrium point where we got arised. So this is for this day. We'll continue the multiplier mechanism in the next class.